What is going on? My name is Gab. This is Fabulous Flicks. With me, as always, of course, is my right-hand man in battle, Mr. Tyler Urola, the rogue leader. I got to tell you, man, we are spending a lot of time together recently, virtually, of course, and soon in person. I got to tell you, I like it. I miss when we don't have stuff to discuss. So, not that we're anybody important. However, if we could get the powers that be to just, keep making content, that'd be really, really appreciated.
Yeah, no, I'd love to, even if we had a schedule of doing like 1 week your channel, next week my channel, and like back and forth. Like even if there wasn't like a set thing to review, but just like a 20-30 minute catch up on all the comings and goings of the nerdy world out there.
Just stuff.
Yeah.
Just stuff. Yeah. And for anybody who does watch this, Tyler and I are actually going to spend a bit of time together this weekend, if I'm not mistaken, which is exciting. I have a follow-up video to shoot at your basement quickly, as I've been asked about what's going on with your basement. And hopefully we'll get a chance to do something while we're there. But on to what happened in House of the Dragon, Game of Thrones. Sorry, I know I'm a little all over the place, but I watched Lord of the Rings this weekend, and I watched, Ring of Power, and I watched House of the Dragon, and I'm going to totally rock a Tyler Urola here. I don't know if I've watched a better weekend of nerdy content. I remember every weekend it was like, this is the best Mandalorian ever. And it became this running joke. Right. But what I saw this weekend between the Ring of Power and House of the Dragon, I can't think of a weekend where I've had a better time watching stuff.
Well, throw in Andor, and we just got 3 different series concurrently running that are all tremendous. It's a very, very cool time we're being spoiled.
Yeah, and tremendous so differently. Like Andor really has that like Bourne spy kind of vibe to it. It's a very grown-up Star Wars, which has been a lot of fun. You've got Ring of Power, which is very, very fantasy based. And then you've got House of the Dragon, which is just very, very HBO.
It's also too bad. It's too bad. I don't know if you watched it or you like it, but it's too bad that She-Hulk didn't really hit it for me because, Marvel also has their own series running as well, but I stopped watching it.
I got through the first episode. I didn't hate it. I'll probably start watching it a little bit, but I haven't because I've been so fixated on this. Yeah. Okay, so
2 episodes.
Yeah, so the topics to cover tonight, because I really like how we've been going through this, like how I stole your idea. That I'll go through the episode. There's a couple things I'll touch on, but the 3 things I want to cover tonight: who should get Driftmark? Why don't I hate Daemon anymore? It bothers me that I don't hate this guy. And I want to talk about One Wish of a Broken Dying Man, which obviously I'm referring to Viserys. So first things first, let's talk about Driftmark. Now, we're going to talk about the ugly elephant in the room. We obviously all know, anybody who's watched this knows that Viserys, Luke, Targaryen, or Velaryon, is obviously not from Laenar Velaryon. They've talked about how they tried. Rhaenyra even talked to Daemon when they got together, saying that they actually functionally tried to do this. And it just...
And it also makes me feel a little bit better of their relationship and her children, that she acted like they did attempt. It just wasn't possible for Buddy. Yeah.
Yeah. So 2 cents. What do you think of Lord Vaynard? Is that his name? Lord Vaynard? Lord Vaymond. Sorry, I had to write his name down because I never remember the
track of the names. Yeah.
So Colas, it starts the episode off. Obviously, Colas has been wounded in battle. He took a blade. He took a blade from a Corsair's dagger, and he's got what's called the blood flu, which is obviously not good. And even though he has not returned from battle yet, they are already talking about the fact that he is not going to make it. Vaymond believes that because he is the brother of Colas, he believes he should inherit Driftmark, and be the new sea snake, and be Lord of the Tides. Obviously, that wasn't Colus's wish. Colus's wish was that it would go through Laenar's son into Lucerys, but obviously Lucerys looks a whole lot more like me than he does look like a Targaryen. What are your thoughts on this? Does Vaemond have a point?
In his shoes, absolutely, because I feel like they're basically the last of a dying bloodline, right? And to not have one of them in power, you're basically muddying the waters, and a couple more generations, the Valerians will be pretty much all but gone, right? Like they're like, if you do your ancestry.com, they're going to be like hitting that 25% or under, and all these characters. So
they probably couldn't even get Valerian status cards. Like it's going to get pretty bad after a while.
I totally get it, but just is it the right time to make that power play? Like Colus isn't even dead yet, and he's already challenging the right. But what I will say is, I think we all realize that it's not just him pushing for this. Alicent and Otto, I think, have a huge part of him trying to be the power. So it's more than just the one involved. But hey, the king said it was going to be the Lukey boy, and that's the king's word. He's obviously going to side with his daughter.
And we're obviously going to get to the wish of a dying man, because that has to do with the dinner. But it was one of the coolest scenes when that door opens and this frail shadow of a man walks into the grand hall where the Iron Throne is. I think they do a great job showing him there. He waves off his Kingsguard, but then Daemon shows up and he allows Daemon to help him up. There are moments in that
he's telling the knight like F off, but when he sees that's Daemon, he's like, brother, come on.
Yeah, and he's just been introduced to their babies, Aegon, third of his name, and their youngest son, Viserys, second of his name. Obviously, incredible tribute a few minutes earlier. Obviously, a play as well.
I also loved when he came stumbling in there, that high pedestal the high towers were on, basically like we have all the power, and when, like you said, a frail man who can barely walk stumbles into that room, and they just look like ghosts. Like, oh shit. Like this scheme we've been plotting for I don't know if it's been for 6 years, because it's another damn time jump.
But
they just immediately went like, oh boy, like this is not going to go the way we've planned.
We are hooped, and Viserys makes no qualms about it. Like, he gets right to it, and I love the way he starts. You have to pardon my confusion. Like, why is this a conversation?
Like, why is there a petition going on for something that was already settled? Like,
and I mean, I know it sounds morbidly sick, but there is a moment that crosses over into the why don't we hate Daemon Targaryen anymore? And this is part of it. Say it. Her children are bastards, and she is a whore. But you got to hand it to Daemon. He waits for the king's, I will have your tongue for this. He takes his head clean off. I tried to share this, but I realized I set it up too late. So sorry, guys. You're not going to get to watch it
Such
again.
an awesome moment, because they have built up throughout the season. You don't call a Royals kid accuse them of them being bastards.
Nope,
and like when he dares him to say it, and not only does he say it, but he adds the whore part after it. It's just like, oh, buddy.
Because it was Daemon who told him, right? He's like,
say it. Give me the excuse I need to do it.
But he waits for Viserys to say, I will have your tongue. Takes his head off. He can keep his tongue attached. And then even when they say disarm him, like, he just puts his sword away and walks. And that is a flex. That is a power move. That is literally the head being chopped off of Alicent and Otto Hightower's big scheme, literally. So, am I alone that I don't hate Daemon anymore?
No, he
literally married his niece. We should be mortified by this, but he's become this from his time with Lady Lena, his daughters, him
Yeah.
trying his best, him studying the histories. Like, he's really turned this cornerstone, and like, he is about Rhaenyra. He's about Rhaenyra, as weird as that is. And
They were, ever since the first episode, you knew they were destined. And
yep.
I think the big thing in this episode that sells the fans loving him is also the way he treats his brother. Like, they were at each other's throats all season. This season,
for
or
most
this
of their
episode,
life.
this episode, he's just like, he almost just sees like, hey, like, he doesn't got a lot of time left. Like, I'm gonna be here for him no matter what. And that's.
Yeah.
And like, that's, it's a believable thing for his character to do, right? Enough of all the political bullshit. Like, this is now about family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there was definitely a sense of him being able to let go when he no longer cared about politics.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't seem that excited at all that he's going to be the king consort. Doesn't seem to care. And that I think is a very good look for him. Yeah. Were you a little surprised, just to quickly touch on, because I said I wanted to touch on a couple things in the episode itself. Were you surprised at Rhaenys's 180? She went from no, your offer is desperate to marry our children, I stand alone, to this is wonderful.
I wasn't surprised, because she kind of made a remark that, if the high towers say this, I have no choice but to stand with them. So when the king came in and overruled, she just seems to fall into place. Like, she doesn't want to really ruffle feathers.
She gets it. She gets it. Yeah. And the kids look good. I mean, obviously Lady Lena and Daemon's, kids look happy. They're healthy.
What a ridiculous, like, marriage arrangement that is, though.
The two sons marrying the two daughters.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little extreme, but it basically solidifies their dominance in air and sea for the next 2 generations. Like, that's the greatest strategic move in history, because one is going to be the queen consort, and the other is going to be the prince to Driftmark. Like, it's a no-brainer. Yeah, he's literally going to be Lord of the Tides and king all in the one family. I mean, it's a great play.
Keep it in the family. And
now let's talk about a wish of a dying man. Like, you can see Viserys struggling to live, struggling to breathe. What they did with him in makeup and CGI is nothing short of artistically beautiful. Yeah. They represented him well. He kind of looked like a cross between Gollum and Two-Face from the Dark Knight movies.
Yeah, he was really obviously a very sad episode for him. He was uncomfortable to look at, like how much he deteriorated so fast. And again, it was hinted at the very first episode when he pricks himself on the throne. But the lesions just got worse. He obviously lost his arm a couple episodes ago, and he's just has to wear a mask because half his face is missing.
Yeah, it's painful to watch.
And he was kept drugged up by the Queen and Otto.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until his daughter and brother showed up that they're like, get that milk of the poppy out of here. And then all of a sudden
I need you to back this. And he's like, what are you talking about? Like, it's not even a question. Allison deals with this. No. We need you to do this. Yeah. So he says he wishes for his family to have supper together.
Yeah.
So everyone's at the table. It's very awkward. Viserys gets in, makes this incredible speech. And just for that moment, for that brief moment, you see reconciliation between Rhaenyra and Alicent. Like, you genuinely see these squabbles put aside. People are laughing. They're enjoying each other's company. Like, this is what Viserys has waited, oh my God, 9, 19, 25, 26 years to see.
Yeah.
And he gets that moment.
It was a nice, that was, that's, you knew what was going to happen after that, because he got his, his couple minutes of complete happiness. And I thought he was going to go in the chair. But obviously they had a little extra something in store for him at the end.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean it.
So
It was
before we
just
move
done so
on
well.
to
Yep.
before we move on
Yeah.
to what happens to Viserys, so more about that dinner. Like, can we talk about the one son? Is it Aemon?
Amond, who's like a
Aemon.
savage now with the patch.
Yeah,
Guy's a maniac.
he's a maniac, and like he had like this weird obsession with Daemon, like staring at him, being like, "That's my future role model."
That's
But
my
then at the
dude.
dinner, it was just like, yeah, has he been stewing all the 6 years for his eye? Like it looked like he was. I was like prepared for him to cut down one of those boys.
100%
Yeah, it's hilarious how he always calls him his nephews. I think that's the
nephews.
ultimate troll.
Well, even when they first show up and
Yeah,
he's training with Sir Kristen Cole, his moves are insane.
yeah,
And Kristen Cole's like, "You're gonna be winning tourneys in no time." It's like, I don't give a shit about tourneys. Doesn't even look. It's like, nephews, are you here to
yeah,
train? Like he has become an absolute
yeah.
savage in the
He's
last
the
6 years.
warrior of the family for
And
sure.
Aegon's an absolute turd blossom. Guy's a
Yeah,
twat waffle.
yeah,
Like sexually assaults that poor maiden girl.
yeah.
Like, guy's just an idiot.
Yeah, so
But
Allison realizes her kids are both, well, I don't know.
one's
Aegon,
pervert,
anyways. Yeah.
one's Daemon.
Yeah.
He's basic. I mean, Aemond is basically Daemon Targaryen, and he rides Vagar. Remember, he rides the
Yeah.
biggest,
So he's the
oldest
biggest
dragon
dragon.
in the
Yeah.
world.
Yeah. He's always been going hard. Yeah. I could
Hmm.
he's gonna be up to some no good in future episodes
Yeah,
or
he is
season,
going to
but
be a
yeah.
problem.
Yeah.
So it ends obviously in a big kerfuffle. The reference is just too good when they're up cheersing each other, and he's like, "I'd like to cheer both my nephews good, strong men." You stupid ass. And you
Yeah.
can see Allison just like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
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 To
Yeah.
what? I'm just paying them a compliment. Two strong men.
That family hates each other. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not gonna end well for them, I have a feeling.
No. No. But it ends obviously with Viserys taking his final breaths. The end credits were beautifully melancholy. I mean,
So yeah, so how do you interpret the end with Alicent by his side, and he brings up the Song of Ice and Fire again, and he talks about his dream on how it came true, and Aegon, blah 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 blah. Does Al? Because I don't know if he's told Alicent that before.
he's told no one
So
but Rhaenyra.
yeah, so does she think that he's talking about their son Aegon needs
Yes.
to be the one to unite the realms? Yeah.
Yes. So
So
he has unfortunately a confused, like a lucid moment where he
yeah,
thinks he's talking to Rhaenyra and he's talking to Alicent and he's reiterating what he thinks to Rhaenyra.
yeah,
Unfortunately, Alicent's there, and this is going to spur on to your last two episodes of absolute melee.
yeah.
Yeah,
Because she just doesn't understand that he's talking about Aegon the Conqueror and not their
not their
dipshit son.
son. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Well, I think we're both on the exact same page in terms of how that was interpreted.
What did you think? I've seen someone allude to this online, I think.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think about the opening scene with the clutch of 3 eggs?
Oh yeah, it's good call on bringing it that Cyrax has brought forth a clutch of eggs.
3 in particular.
Oh, I know where you're
Because
going with this.
I
Are
don't know if
they
it's too far
are they
away or
the
not for that. Yeah, like is
are
that
they the 3 eggs that
yeah.
hatch for Daenerys? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, that's what I'm asking.
Did you see all three?
I didn't see 3, but he
I only
said a
saw
clutch.
one.
I think he said a clutch of 3. Cyrex had a clutch of 3.
Oh, okay. I don't think that you're looking at the same 3 eggs. That would be a very long time for them to lay dormant. I don't.
Well,
I
when
don't
I think
think.
when Daenerys got them, they were said that they were like they weren't viable. Or remember she took him in the fire herself, and then that's when they hatched.
Yep.
Maybe. I don't know. I didn't think anything of it. I saw something
I love this. Yeah,
online
no,
that someone called it. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I love that. I thought one might go to Bela,
Yeah.
who is Daemon's other daughter who didn't get an egg.
Yeah.
But I mean, it would make a ton of sense if,
because how many years are we to the time of season 1 of Game of Thrones? Do you know?
We are now 186 minus 26. 160?
160? Because by the time Game of Thrones hit, like, I don't even know if anyone's seen a dragon before, right? Like, dragons are more or less
Gonzos.
extinct.
So yeah, you are 1,000% right, man.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Again, I have no idea. Yeah, I just
like that,
I heard someone
before,
like mention or draw the parallel, and I was like, huh, I wonder if that's actually that or not. But
yeah,
we'll see.
Yeah, you're more than likely correct on that, which is amazing.
All right, you want to score this thing?
I would like you to score this one first.
I've been going back and forth in my head, and this episode, light on action, but high in drama and emotion, and the perfect, bittersweet ending for King Viserys, and who is probably the best king we've seen so far in this universe as far as ruling fairly.
Absolutely.
And very caring and all that, and an unfortunate end for him, to come down with basically a brutal disease. Really. I think I'm gonna go pretty high. I might give this the illustrious, might give it a 9.0. I don't know how you don't.
Exact same. Yeah. This is an absolute 9.0. It's definitely the highest score we've given anything in anything recent. It was done beautifully. I mean, the touches with Daemon, the Cyrax Easter egg or dragon egg, great catch. Viserys's end.
Just like
watching
Daemon
get his head chopped off.
Yeah.
It was incredible. Yeah. I'm with you, 9.0. I completely agree. For anyone who watches this that's got to be the highest we've rated anything so far.
Yeah,
I think that's higher than even Amanda got. I mean, this was a perfect summation to this episode. I can't wait to see what's going to happen in the next two.
Yeah,
can't wait.
It was just well done.
Yeah,
and I like. Part of the reason why it hits harder is because the character in question is one who's been the same actor throughout every episode, all the time jumps. He's probably the one we've spent the most amount of time with.
Yeah, Viserys. Viserys is just an incredible character. Yeah,
he's essentially, he got the Ned Stark treatment, but a completely different way of going about it.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Yeah, no, yeah, well done. Wrong. And who knows what these next two episodes have in store for us.
Yeah.
Should be very, very interesting. Considering, one's called the Black Queen, so the finale.
It's gonna be good. Yeah. What's next week's called? It's
the Green Council.
So the High Towers.
Yeah, High Towers are going to be
all right,
figuring stuff out.
Well, thank you as always. Looking forward to next week. We obviously went on Tuesday night because of the holiday, but we will be back next Monday night at 9:00. I will see you then, and I will see you this weekend, my friend.
Yep. Later, buddy.
All right, pal. Cheers.